Hey everybody, a very warm welcome. It's Neil Pry here, NVP as I'm known on most trading forums, and it's Monday the 13th of April, and I just wanted to introduce you to something very, very exciting for me. I've decided to release one of my indicators that I've been using for a long time. Haven't released it to the public before. I'm going to release it to people. A lot of people have been asking me, but I'm going to ask people to donate to an NHS charity in order to get it, okay? So if you go to my Fxcorrelator.com website, as you can see here, and if you click onto Fixstart, see this? This is my Fixstart indicator. And if you read the stuff here, it will take you through what you have to do to get this indicator that I've used many times. People see it all the time when I'm commenting. And you click to this page and follow the rules to the Virgin NHS charity. And all I'm asking for is a minimum donation of £15. I want you to forward then the email that you get from the Virgin NHS charity to fxcorrelator@gmail.com, and then I'll send you over the indicator, okay? Everything else is here. So there's a PDF to download, full instructions, how to use it, and there will be, not necessarily this one, but I'm going to drop in here this video actually, the video you're looking at now, you're going to see the video here, okay? And that will be cool. It will tell you exactly what to do and how to use it. So without further ado, let's just quickly click through this and go through the process. See if this works, hopefully. Okay, so we've dropped through to the Virgin page. I might change this title, but Forex Trading Indicator, whatever you want. It's the Fixstart one. And you donate. I put a test figure in there. It seems to work. I've been donating in other sites anyway, but I just wanted to test this first. And a few descriptions here, again, asking for a minimum donation. And that's about it, really, I think. But it's NHS anyway. It's the NHS appeal. It's the COVID one that supports the actual NHS workers themselves and everything they're doing in the UK. And I know a lot of you guys are going to be downloading this that are not based in the UK, but hey, you know, this is my charity for my choice. So that's where I want you to pay. And you can pay by credit card, whatever you want. There's lots of facilities there. You go through this donate process and it's pretty straightforward. So the rest of this video really is going to be a very quick overview as to how you drag it, how you use it, and various other things yet. So without further ado, we're going to switch back now and pretend that you now have the indicator dropped into your system. Okay, guys, talk again in a couple of seconds. Okay, I've just put a very simple chart up here, MetaTrader 4. Remember, that's all MetaTrader 4. And here you can see MVP Fixstart Fxcorrelator 2020. That's what I've actually designated will be the name for this indicator. So you've gone through the process of getting it into your Navigator file, okay? I'm not going to run through all that. If you can, you know, look online. There's loads of things to show you how to drop stuff onto MT4 files, but it's within the indicator. It's within the indicator field. And again, I think on my PDF, it does actually give you a heads up as to how to do that. Right, let's go. So again, all of this is on the PDF. Don't worry, drag it across onto, it doesn't matter what you put it on, to be honest. And things start flashing up for you. These are all the things. Let's go through it. About, well, it just calls a name bit common. Don't touch anything here. Allow DLL imports. Allow external experts imports. That's fine. Inputs. This is what we're going to talk about a lot. Okay, very briefly. If you go through the PDF, it's going to explain you. Don't touch anything here. This first lot down to Delta. No need to touch it. This, without going into detail, this model or this indicator does some pretty ridiculous things, but it's not so much disabled. Some of them have gone a little bit awry over the past, so we're not going to be using them. So leave this as it is. It's there to do a particular purpose that pretty much I only use now. What you're going to use. Other things here, with these buttons here, you can decide whether you want to show or not show the 8 currencies. So you could show none of them, you could show all of them. It's up to you. I tend to use all of them. The symbol suffix, I talk about this in the PDF. You've got to make sure that if you have a particular symbol suffix within your platform that you're using, some of them do, they have suffixes, you know, little numbers and characters that you've got to put in. You'll put them in there. Reset with date, leave that alone completely. Start date and time, this is what we're going to talk about in a minute. Use that and reset every day. Leave it, don't touch it, okay? And again, I go through this, all the PDF. But predominantly, most things here, all I really do is I just go straight in and I keep changing my dates because this is the start date. This is what you're going to change. In terms of colours, as you can see, you can remove colours. Well, there's no need to because we've said, you can remove the actual currencies. So there's no reason to go into this unless the only way is with this, if you want to particularly make a particular currency thicker on the chart, okay? And you go through it that way. Levels. Okay, the levels are set for nothing at the moment. So again, with this, and you can't see it, but I'm pressing the reset button further down on the bottom left. Press that. See how it's clicked to silver now? So that's now going to show you it. And visualization, again, it's all time frames, that's fine. So if I say okay to this at the moment, bear with me. Okay, bang. Okay. And what are we seeing? Well, what we're seeing is that it zeroized all the prices, the start date, on whatever the date was. If you remember, it was something to do with early April. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to drop it down a few time frames. And there we go. Okay, so now it's starting to understand. I'm going to bring it out a little bit. I'm going to get rid of this. And if you do this so far, what tends to happen, let's make that a bit smaller. Go to H4. To properties, let's go back to common. Sometimes you have to just reset this a little bit. I'm going to say okay again. Okay, there you go. You see? I'm going to make it a little bit bigger, You see how you can't see anything? As soon as you drop it down and it hits the date where we've said start, you actually get the whole thing creates. Don't worry about the top bit there. I mean, that chart, it doesn't matter. You can put it on any of the 27, 28 charts available for the G8. And there's your familiar sign. As soon as you pull it, you lose it because it's doing a start date. So this is for the 1st of April. So it's shown us how we've gone this year. And again, if you follow any of my commentaries or you see some of my posts on my Fxcorrelator blog, everything, you'll see this is very, very regular. I use it a lot for my scalping and so on. So, for example, on here, if I just go up here and set it, what I'm really saying here is since the 1st of April, 204 pips. That's roughly how high the orange Aussie dollar, see, Aussie dollar, orange, how high it's been. It's a very big bull play. Aussie dollar's doing very well in April, as I'll be telling you in other things. And if we look through here, you'll see everything else. Okay, so that's how it works. The PDF is very, very clear. So what I'm going to do very quickly while you're watching, I'm actually going to rapidly come in here and I'm going to change this to, what's today? 13th? Yeah, 13th. We're going to make it 8 o'clock in the morning. Remember, this will work for whatever the parameters your broker is. Now, 8 o'clock is not, it's actually 2 hours ahead. So this actually corresponds, anything where you see 8 o'clock, that would actually be 6 a.m. GMT, and which is roughly when I start trading. So we're about to, if we drop this, say, down to the 5-minute, pow. This is literally how the market is trading today. Yeah, if I pull it out enough, you can see here it's kind of zeroized around this area. Again, if I go in here and press OK again, we should see it crash. You see it crashed? So that wherever this says 8 o'clock, it's crashed at that point. Bring it across. So this is how I've been trading this morning, when I have been trading. This is how I've been trading the session, and it gives you an idea of what's going on and what isn't going on. This is the 13th. Oof. Okay. So that's pretty cool, isn't it? So according to this, we've had some great runs. I mean, sterling has been very strong today, and I have been buying sterling. Everything else, well, most things are kind of fairly flattish. Not a bad morning, 47 pips. I mean, we've seen dramatic mornings in the last month, haven't we? But this gives you an idea. So remember, everything you've seen to date, when I put these on LinkedIn, on Trade to Win, on Forex Factory, on my website, my blog, you now have it. All you've got to do is contribute and donate to my charity, to the NHS charity, and you can have this for free. Remember, this can be used for anything. So you could go back, as long as your system allows you, can go back years and years to see how the market's doing. You can set it up for any time frame. You could start it from the start of this week to see how things are going for this week. You can literally do anything, and it's a very, very clever model, and it's used for understanding the charts. Again, if you read the PDF, I'll give you an idea how I use it. Generally, how do I use it? Well, I pick a start time, like for a session like today. So 8 a.m. on here, but 6 a.m. GMT. And what I do is I just let this run through the session. So what is this telling me? Well, it's telling me that generally I've been trying to buy sterling all the time. I know sterling's come off here, but actually I am still looking to buy sterling. Although the US dollar as a pair, if I trade those two, cable, GBP, USD, US dollars is quite bullish as well. So really I wouldn't be trading these. In fact, US dollar is so neutral at the moment. You see how it's zero from the start of the session? I mean, I wouldn't really be trading that much. You can buy these currencies above into dollar and sell these currencies below into dollar. But the dollar really, I mean, it's trending upwards, as you can see. So, but again, you build that into your own particular strategy. But again, the PDF explains this. Okay. There's one more thing I'm going to show you what this does. And you have to do this in live real time, if you understand what I mean. Yeah. So what I'm saying is that if the markets are down at the weekend, the platform's turned off, and most platforms are, Saturday, Sunday, this won't work because it needs live feeds. But you see this reset button here? This is a cool button. I use this a lot for my scalping. I use this a lot to understand what the market's doing. Instead of going in and doing this, say I wanted to do a few minutes ago, instead of going in here and exactly programming this for a few minutes ago, what you can do is you can just press this button, reset. Press it enough times it does. Can you see what it's done over here? It's actually reset everything to 0 right now. So this button basically resets the whole thing to 0. And why is that useful? Well, I'll tell you why it's useful. If we go down to a 1 minute, sometimes you have to press the reset button a few times. Now, because it's reset to 0, if you walked away now and left this, then obviously let it expand and move. If you come back at any time on this particular chart, it will show you from that point where you traded. So sometimes when I'm trading the 1 minutes, what I do is I just let this run. If I've seen a particular point or a position or a situation I'm thinking that's interesting, what I can do is run one of these up. Now let me bring it back to here. Watch what happens. You see this? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this button, which is the scroll chart, and I'm going to expand it. Okay. So what's going to happen now? You see up here again, the PDF explains what these meters are showing, which is virtually 0 because we've just reset the chart to current moment. Can you see how they're all starting to move around there? As time goes on, this will start to balance out and expand. So it's a really cool way of immediately seeing where the action is from a moment in time. And as you can see on here, hopefully, you can see that the CAD is already 5 pips up from when I clicked it a few seconds ago. Now, I'm not going to go into detail here because it's part of some of my scalping strategies, but that is really useful to me. Imagine how good that is if you can immediately see what other currencies are doing literally within a few seconds. See that sterling is now pushing. When I'm scalping, when I'm talking about 1 or 2 pip advantage, sometimes I use this for various things. Again, I'm not going to teach that because that may be part of a later course, but I'm just showing you what the reset button does. I've pressed it again, we've reset, hit it a few more times. Now, I don't use this much, but again, I wanted to show you how to use it. Again, if you want to come out of it, what you do is you go. Now, the meter will still be saved on your previous setting. If I press OK again, and I press 5 minute, and I'm going to reset it, and then I'm going to make it smaller. There you go. We're back in business. Okay, back to earlier today, and we're back to exactly what I was talking about earlier. So it's very clever. Okay. One more thing, if you do want to make one of these lines, you know, sometimes when I present, I show coloured charts. So I go here. Say I want to show cable, how I've been doing with cable. I go down to the green and the red. The green is dollar, the red is sterling. Say OK. Now sometimes that doesn't work. See how it hasn't worked? So you have to go in one more time. It's just a nuance of the system. It's very strange. Now I guarantee you this time it'll work. See? And again, you've seen these all the time. Now you can see what these guys are doing. Drag that sterling down for a second, make that cool. So while we're here, let's have a quick look and see what's happened. So can you see how, coming into about 8 a.m. there, you see how as this went up, you see it was sterling that was driving most of the drive. Sterling was pushing there more like about 40 pips up. And can you see how dollar was really only 25 pips? So you see 2/3 of this push, 2/3 of this push was to do with the strength of sterling and dollar was helping as well. And then down here, can you see how these guys are really close together? Can you see how flat this area is? Suddenly we've got quite a lot of flat. Why is that flat? Because these guys are getting pretty close, yeah? So this was the start point, but you see how these are not moving much? I mean, personally, I wouldn't have been trading this. I would have been chasing it, but I wouldn't have been trading as soon as dollar come up here. Really, this is the last time I would have really looked at buying this at the moment. I'm not into buying this at the moment. I was happy to try and get some buys here, and obviously it would have been quite frustrating in this area. And primarily, you know, your real push was here. This is where I was driving buys early this morning on 1 minute and lower. This is 5 minute. Dollar, once again, is fairly neutral. So, sorry, we're talking already, but can you see how useful this is? It's a great indicator, and now it's available to you guys for a simple donation. So please donate. I mean, I'm asking for £15 minimum. Please, as much as you can afford. Do you know how much some of these indicators out there cost? I'm being told there's nothing free out there that's similar to this. So please just donate. I mean, it's all going directly into the NHS. I'm happy to help them. I think they're heroes. They've done so much for people up and down in the UK, as well as all the global health workers have. So I'm so, you know, we're so lucky to have these people. And it all starts here. The link is into my Fxcorrelator.com website here. Go to this Fixstart button and it's all here, guys. Okay, so I'm going to put these links everywhere. You're not going to be able to miss this. And please, please, please buy and use it. You know where I am. And then you can really get into using strength meters effectively. Okay, guys, you have a great day. It's a bank holiday today in the UK, so I'm not really following the markets that much. But have a great day. Have a great week. And we will talk soon. Cheers, guys. Bye.